Hello everyone, I hope you all are safe and healthy. Today, in 12th Commerce Economics, we are going to discuss the second part related with the chapter number 1, Graphs in Economics. In first part, we have discussed the introductory area, what is the difference between diagram and a chart. Then we have seen what is the importance of diagram and chart in economics and the aspects which are considered while preparing graphs in economics. So let's start with this one. Types of diagram. Now you have seen the definition what is diagram. Now what is the different types of diagram? So there are basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 different types of diagram. Starting with the first one, that is pictogram, second scatter diagram, third that is line diagram, fourth that is circle diagram, fifth one that is bar diagram and sixth that is pie diagram. So as per the syllabus, there are only 3 which we have to consider. One that is time based, this one time based line diagram, second that is bar diagram and third one that is pie diagram. In many of the boards exam from last 3 years, only bar diagram is going to be asked. Let's start with the first one. What is time based line diagram? Okay, here there are basically 2 variables and you have to show the relationship between that 2. See the definition, picture which shows the shape or slope of a relationship in economics between the 2 variables that will be considered over here. So the independent variable and the dependent variable. Now what is independent variable? The variable which are measured on x axis will be considered as an independent variable and the variables which are measured on y axis will be considered as a dependent variable. Okay, so there are few different types of examples written over here. One that is demand curve. When you are preparing any kind of demand curves, you have to follow this method, time based line diagram, supply curve, then size of population in different time period. That means in the year 1971, for example, if there is a population of 21 crore, then in the 1981 the population has changed, so that is considered in this one, that is time based line diagram. Even the literacy rates in various years is going to be considered over here. So in this one, let's take an example of literacy rate. So when it is literacy rate is there, the year will be on x axis, that is independent variable, and the dependent variable, that is numbers, what is the percentage of literacy rate among the whole country. So that is an independent dependent variable that is going to be measured on y axis. So ultimately it is a relationship in economics between 2 different variables which is going with the help of picture. Here it is an example. Let's see. It is a decadal year and the census report is there about the population. So in the year 1951-61, the population was 21.64 percentage. In 61 and 71, the population rate growth was 24.80 and it has decreased to 17.64 percentage. So you can compare it with this one. So what is considered on x-axis? On x-axis we have shown the time period, the decades, the year 1951, 61, 71, 81, 91 and 2001 years are here. Here the decadal growth, the growth rate in percentage are written on y-axis. So this is a dependent variable and this one x-axis will becomes an independent variable. Then just you have to do this which you have studied in standard 7 or 8 or 9. Just you have to put the dots here and connect the dots. Then you are going to create this kind of diagrams. Okay. So this is about the time based line diagram. Let's see the next one and the most important one which is asked in many exams, bar diagram. So what is bar diagram? So bar diagram shows the distribution of value of variable components. Let's take an example, the literacy rate of a country in various years. Previous there is a literacy rate. Okay. Here it is a population rate. In this one we are going to see the literacy rates in a particular male or female. Then we are going to use this. Basically there are 3 types of different bar diagrams. One that is simple bar diagram, second that is clustered bar diagram and third that is divided bar diagram. We are going to see each of them individually, starting with the first one, that is simple bar diagram. Now what is simple bar diagram? There is only one variable over the base. There is only one variable. Consider this. What is the one variable? One variable that is only cell in unit. There is only one variable which is shows over here, cell in unit. Now on x-axis we have shown the time period. The time period in the months are written 1, 2, 3, 6 different months are taken. 2 monthly the report is done, January to February. Then the sale in unit is 35. Now what you need to do? You have to see the lowest figure. The lowest figure is 30. And which one is the highest one? The highest one, that is 65. Now what you are going to do? You have to make y, that means this axis as considered from starting from the 0 to 70. You have to calculate that, and afterwards you have to draw this bar diagram. So this is the simple bar diagram where there is only one variable is there. I hope you have understood. Let's see the second one, that is clustered bar diagram. Here there are common variables are there. Okay, previously there is only one variable, here there are common variables over a common base which are given. You can see that the months are same. Here the months are same, but the units which they have sold in a smaller size, medium size and large size are different. So what we can do, we can show this particular parameter like this. For the month of January to February, the smaller size are 30, medium size is 15 and larger size are 25. Then in examination for 5 marks question, they can ask also analyze the particular chart. So that we will show when we are going to write. Let's see. On x-axis there are months written from the month of January to the month of December. It was written on a x-axis. On a y-axis we have shown the sales in unit in different months. That is from 0 to 70. Okay. Now there are 3 different type of products: smaller size, medium size and the larger size. So it is divided into basically 3 parts, and every month, every 2 months there is a different kind of sale when it comes to the size. We have to show that the different colors when we are putting these all three together. Okay. Then as per the diagram we have to show. Let's take an example from the this one, March and April. The small size is 40, medium size is 25 and larger size is 50. Let's see here. March month, small size, small, that is 40. So we have to make a note here, 40. Then medium size, that is 25. So here it is 25, and larger size, that is 50. So we have to show it as a 50. Then we have to compare it. In the minimum sale of large size is done in which year? So it is done in the year, in the month July to August, that is only 10. And highest done in which month? That is done in 60. In smaller size, that is done in the month of November. So we can compare like that. Now the third one, that is divided bar diagram. Now what is called as divided bar diagram? Here there is single diagram, but it is divided into 2 parts. In such a diagram, every single value of the variable, it is subcategorized. That means you can see that the number of chocolates sold in rural and urban areas. So ultimately it is majorly it is India. So in India that these 2 sectors are divided, rural area and urban area, and the month sale is written over here. So total it is 70. Let's take an example. If it is 30 plus 40, the total is 70. 35 plus 80, the total is 115. So it is just a division of this one. The 70 is divided into 2 parts. In rural we have sold 30 goods, and in urban area we have sold 40. So now how we are going to show that? We are going to show this like here. Sales in rural area are going to be darkened, and sales in urban area, this is this kind of lines. So highest in total the sale is 70. So we will do 30 plus 40, that is 70. So we will make a single bar diagram, but it is divided into 2 subcategories. You can see the difference from this. Okay. Next. What aspects we are going to consider while we are preparing a bar diagram? So we have to understand first what is the width of the diagram, and it does not represent any data and has all the diagrams should be have equal width. So here see the width. You can see this is the width. Okay, this is for this particular one. This one is the width of a diagram. So it should be same. It should not vary when there is a change in any of the data. Second, the length of the representative bar should be proportional to the value of variable which they represent. See here, the total is 70. So it should be represented same with the label of y-axis. It is 70. It is between 60 and 80, 70. Let's take another one. The total is 115. So we have to show over here. Here the 70 plus 40, the total will become 1110. So it should be here, in between here. Here 20 plus 30, that means 50. So 50 will be between 40 and 60. So it should be properly represented with the y-axis as well. See the third one, the distance between all bars should be equal, and that should be maintained between the first bar and the origin. When you are starting, the difference between these two bars will be same. You can see that the difference between the January to February and March to April are same. Same way March to April and May to June are same. So bar should be has same difference. The lines should be have same difference. Same way when it is originated, when it is started, it has same difference which was written, which we have taken for the rest of the diagram. Then fourth one, that is all bars rest on the same line called the base, which usually coincides with the x-axis. When we are starting with the base, the all base are totally touched to the bar diagram which was written on the x-axis. And the last one, all the vertical bar should be arranged from left to right in order to create the data series. When you are here, this one is the horizontal one. We can create the vertical one as well. So when we are creating vertical one, it will be starting from the left to right. That means from this step to this step. Here this will be there. So this is related with the aspects while considering the bar diagram. I hope you have liked, share and subscribe to the channel, and you particularly like this session. You have to mention it as an assignment work. This is end for the session. Thank you. Jai Hind.